something you can't fix.
If you can't fix what's broken, you'll go insane.
It's Jay and Adam. It's Previewed.
It's Previewed's Fix It with Adam and Jay.
Hey, Peaches! Welcome to Fix It, where friends don't let friends fix pop culture alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay. And you're our listener.
Hey there, listeners.
Ho there, listeners.
Hail and well met, listeners.
Yes, indeed. Zug zug, listeners. Job's done.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Welcome, listeners, to our podcast, Fix It. I'm Jay. That's Adam. You may know us. As the ultimate ability of all YouTube reaction content previewed. You may know us from there. You may know us from Previewed Gaming. You know that thing that
We also do.
most people comment on. I didn't know you had a gaming channel, even though we talk about it all the time.
We're trying.
But this is our show, Fix It, where every week Adam and I take a piece of pop culture that maybe missed the mark, maybe didn't quite get there, maybe needed to build additional pylons, and we fix it.
I was trying to think of, the main hall is burning down and I just can't get enough peons over there to stop it from burninating.
Yeah,
Oh,
I jumped over to StarCraft for that one.
Oh,
but
Pylons is just the easier one to do. At this point with RTS games, which don't really exist a whole lot
construct
anymore.
additional pylons. Yeah, I think...
Is StarCraft 2 really the sole remaining RTS game?
I mean, from a competitive standpoint,
Yeah.
I think it's the only one that's still in. Like, I think, if anything, Blizzard realized that there's the amount of headache that goes into balancing a StarCraft 3. I think they're just like, you know what? Nah. I'm like, we're good. I think we got it. Like, let's not worry about it, even though StarCraft 3 would make them a ton of money.
Like a butt ton.
Like an entire butt ton of money. Regardless. Anyways, this is our show, Fix It. And this week, because we got the D&D movie coming out.
Yeah,
and also,
we do.
Diablo 4 is in open beta this weekend. And Chaboy is itching to play it.
When you're listening to this, I may have already lost Jay. This could be the final recording of Jay Schmidt.
Well, it's only for the weekend, and then it doesn't come out until June. So
Oh, it's truly just only for the weekend, and then Monday it's
open
off?
beta this weekend, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just open beta for at least a little bit.
Oh, no. It's just for the weekend.
Oh, thank God.
We are fixing 2016's Warcraft, the movie edition of Warcraft 1, otherwise known as Warcraft Humans versus Orcs.
Which I didn't know.
Or Orcs versus Humans. I
think it's Orcs versus Humans, but I did not realize it was actually off of the game.
Oh, this is mostly the story of Warcraft.
I only learned about that when I was doing research for my fix. I was
really?
I honestly thought a lot of this stuff was just made up.
Oh, no. If anything, there are a few properties in the world that have a more extensive and detailed lore than the world of Azeroth.
Yeah.
Is quite detailed.
Yeah, to its detriment.
To its detriment, for sure. So we're fixing Warcraft this week. And this was your first time watching it?
This is the second time I've watched it.
When was the first time you saw it?
I saw it. Oh, I think a little while after it came. I did not go see it in theaters. Because I was like, oh, Warcraft, that'd be cool. And then it came out, and I was like, I heard everyone was like, this is bad. I'm like, well, you know what? I don't need to see that. I'll just wait for it to come out on whenever. And then I found it when it finally came out to whenever, and I watched it. And I was like, this is... I'm confused. This was okay. Why is this happening?
I saw Warcraft in the theaters. I saw it in IMAX.
I'm so confused.
I saw it in IMAX with my buddy Alex, and we were 2 of 3 people in the theater.
Ooh. Like, how... Wait.
It was that time where that guy sat, like, basically right next to us.
Was this opening weekend? Was the weekend a
I
week
think
after?
it was, like, the second week.
The second week?
Yeah, that drop-off was pretty bad.
And 3 people in the IMAX theater.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty... And it was on the weekend, too. It was pretty tough.
Whoa.
Now, granted, I think it was, like, a Sunday afternoon, but still. It was... Yeah, I was really excited about this movie because for those of you who don't know about my gaming history, I was a Blizzard head. I mean, I am to a certain degree. Certain things have come to light about their business practices that make me question whatever they're doing over there. But for an extraordinarily long time, I was a huge Blizzard head, and I played World of Warcraft for a decade. I played all of the Diablos.
Yep.
I played through StarCraft to know the story, but I'm not good at those games at all.
Oh, really?
No.
Those are pretty hard.
It's just not how it's just not how I play games.
Sure.
Like you have to be the better clicker.
Yes.
And you have to multitask.
The hotkeys and all sorts of stuff.
Like even Warcraft 3 for that matter. Like I played through because I really liked the story.
Sure.
I didn't, but hey, 1v1 in Warcraft, and I'm like, nah, we good. There's too much micromanagement.
Yeah.
I can't even handle it. So I was really excited about this movie because I love Azeroth. I love this world.
Yeah.
Like I love all the characters in it. And
oh, bud.
This movie really disappointed me.
Wow. Okay.
And it's frustrating because it's in reading interviews with Duncan Jones, the
Director.
Like so much love went into this movie and so much care, and that he really knew what the story he wanted to tell was. And I think there are so many moments where you do get those feels, like it's just cool seeing a lot of this stuff in like full CG and like full movie format. And I think you and I can both agree that the orcs in this movie are some of the best CGI that's ever been in a movie.
Yeah, suck it, Na'vi. These orcs are awesome.
Like it's truly incredible.
Yeah, they're very good. They're very good.
But it's just you leave this movie just kind of not really giving a crap about any of it.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I'm going to in a little bit, but I still like. I don't. Jay, what? Why were things happening? I don't. What?
When the things happen, they're cool, but you don't really understand why or how.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah, I didn't watch this with the Discord. I watched this on my own.
Because they did not want to watch it.
Well, no, but I mean, no, it wasn't really about Warcraft. It was more, it was like Alien versus Predator and then Speed 2. The Discord watch along community revolted a little bit.
Just
and they're
a
like,
little bit.
We want to watch a good, like, for the love of God, can we please watch a good movie? And I was like, I don't think you understand the point of what we're doing here.
Guys.
The whole point of this is that we're watching we're fixing bad movies, and we have to watch. So I have to watch 2 movies now this week. So I watched Shang-Chi with the Peaches.
Yeah.
And we actually, dude, that movie.
I love that movie. You love that movie.
It was great.
It's a great movie.
It was a wonderful watch along. So join the Discord if you haven't, if you want to come to these watch alongs.
For bad movies, mostly.
For bad movies,
and
mostly.
If you complain and mutiny enough, Jay will
throw you
acquiesce and watch a good movie with you.
And watch Warcraft by my lonesome.
while
playing the
the
remaster of Diablo 2 on my Nintendo Switch on another screen. So we're fixing Warcraft.
Yes, but before we get fully into the weeds, fully into Jay's wheelhouse, Jay knows so much about this stuff,
really
you guys.
care about a lot of this
I'm
stuff.
going to drown in all of I don't have a life preserver. I'm going to drown in the lore. But before we do get to all that good stuff, Jay can take me to school. Jay, how you doing, bud?
You know, I'm doing well. It's the slowdown has definitely helped my overall kind of headspace a little bit, in that I've got to be in my headspace and not just go make content.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of slowed down my streaming schedule a little bit just to kind of give myself a little bit of peace of mind. Because honestly, like Kimberly is pregnant.
Wait, what?
Whoa,
wait, why?
It's not just oh, she's pregnant. She's got a little baby. She is fully pregnant.
We are
now.
entering the 3rd trimester. So
we just crossed the 3rd trimester mark. So, it's just been a lot of just taking care of her and making sure everything's hunky dory in the house. And honestly, it's been great. I think having it. The one thing I'm really excited about, there's been a lot of real life figuring out has to have taken place, which is frustrating and kind of scary. But I think I think having a kid is going to aggressively keep us in the moment in a way that I think is going to be really good for the two of us.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Nope.
It's
You're
just
not present. You're always kind of you're out there.
You've met me, right?
Sure. Oh, you mean so you mean? Oh, I see what you're saying. More of like an anchor to, hey, now here, pay attention. Hey,
You were
Jay,
yeah,
Jay.
like you have to remain very, very present the entire time. So I'm actually looking forward to that, and I'm just like, I think it's the kind of thing where this is like a child entering the mix is gonna like really just like it's gonna break open our hearts, and our hearts are gonna grow, and I'm really excited for it. That's the lamest thing I've ever said.
Jay.
And I'm just like, I know.
Ooh, dude, that was lame. I'm gonna need a second.
Yeah.
That was.
I've never been more terrified and so just overjoyed for something in my life. It's such a weird umami of
Terror and joy at the same time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think Kimberly's gonna make an amazing mom, and I just can't wait to see her do it. And she's gonna be so good at it. I don't know. I'm just trying to stay present and like I'm keenly aware of that, like this is a small snapshot of our lives that like we're not really gonna have any time soon again. So I'm just trying to like enjoy the moment. I'm just trying to remain present and just,
enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride. I'm doing my best.
You're taking your life.
Talk to me tomorrow. Okay, it might be totally different. Right now, I'm feeling real zen about it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Good.
but yeah, so life's good.
Awesome.
Other than that, we get to watch TV and play video games for a living, so
We
life's
do.
pretty good.
Life's pretty good.
How about you? How are you?
I'm also doing good. We've been able to plan stuff and do things. We got the Resident Evil 4 coming out. Well, I think it's technically it's out. Is it out right now as we're recording? I think so. But we're playing it next week.
Came out
you know
today.
what?
Came out today.
Oh, did it? Yeah. Well, so I mean, by the time you guys are watching this or listening to this, we have already done our first stream of it. And
yeah. So if you're listening to this, we're streaming at 7 o'clock tonight. Come say hi.
It's everything I've heard has been like, this is fun. This is crazy. It's
Yeah.
like exactly what we wanted in a Resident Evil game.
I realize that when we play Resident Evil games, you do the playing and I just kind of chill. So I'm like, ooh, snacks. What kind of snacks?
What'd you have for that chainsaw, Adam?
Yeah. Little ASMR feels for you. And how.
Just don't sit behind me because in all likelihood I'm gonna fly out of a chair.
Yeah.
So
That's
it should be
true.
fun. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
All
it's gonna
fun.
be good.
And honestly, Jay, we just saw John Wick yesterday. It was a hell of a good time. And I'm buzzing in my seat right now to watch Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Because everyone's been saying like this thing's gonna be good. And
Yeah.
I love Dungeons
Like
and
it's
Dragons.
a game changer. It's a big deal kind
Yeah,
of thing.
it's gonna be a big deal. So I
Yeah.
can't wait to see it this weekend. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, so things are great. Ooh woo woo, woo 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 woo
Oh, woo, woo, woo.
woo woo woo.
So Warcraft. The long or the short of it with the Warcraft movie, and what frustrates me about the Warcraft movie is that it misses the assignment of what it's trying to do. Because here's the thing, like so much of this is lovingly crafted. Like when they go to Ironforge, I'm like, yeah, that's what Ironforge looks like when you go inside.
Sure.
You are also dealing with a fan base that has quote unquote lived in this world for an extraordinarily amount of time.
Almost a decade at that when the movie came out, right?
It came out.
About?
Warcraft came out in around 2004, 2005.
Oh, so yeah. So
Yeah,
over
so
a decade.
It had been over
Wow,
a decade.
Jeez.
Like you have people who like not only like are invested in this lore, but like quote unquote helped forge it,
Yes.
for lack of
I see what you did there.
And it's the kind of thing where what frustrates me is that like I think that what they were going for with this movie is that they wanted it to be like, cool, we're going to build out this franchise and these movies are going to be gigantic commercials for World of Warcraft. Hey, if you like all these people and you want to come hang out with them
And do rad cool stuff.
we have a place for you to do that. The problem is that they started with Warcraft 1. And the thing is that the lore is still growing and still going.
It's still going today. Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Like the fact that like Warcraft 1 is such a foregone conclusion from like where we were all at in the Warcraft world that like by the time the World of Warcraft game started,
Right.
all of the people in there, all the characters in this movie, for the most part, I mean, some come back from the dead and yada yada yada, but that's just
Timey-wimey silliness.
that's just soap opera. It's a soap opera. That's how it works.
Sure.
All of these people are long dead. And even a lot of the ramifications of what they've done don't even matter anymore.
They got retconned and away.
Yeah. So for me, it was just frustrating because I was like, all the stuff about little baby Thrall and things like that. And I was like, that's awesome. I would have much rather just been watching Thrall the whole time. Oh, man. Oh, Beans. I don't care. I don't care. And I know that sounds stupid, and I know you need to start somewhere with a movie franchise.
You do.
I for me personally, I think starting with Warcraft 1 was such a huge mistake. And I did say steak. Sorry, I just like totally pulled that.
Self-reported. It's all right
for you. And from an art design perspective, the orcs are a triumph.
Oh my god,
but
it's
the
so good.
humans look like they're in a cartoon.
They really do. They're not. I think that's all practical
Here's the
stuff.
thing, all of the weapons and stuff, game accurate to some degree, but it just looks silly.
It does look silly.
It looks like a bunch of dudes with prop weapons fighting incredible warmonger beasts, like who are just like, those guys are awesome. Like, I'm on their side. They're cool.
Yeah.
Like, you guys just have like your weird little swords with the lion heads on them. I'm like, that's a waste of steel.
Yep.
Like, it was, the orcs lived in this gritty world, and then you have the humans who are kind of like, fiddle-dee-dee.
I guess, yeah.
But that being said, there was a lot of moments, like, dude, Lothar riding a griffin and, like, landing in there, and that griffin, like, taking out the trash. I was like, yeah, man, give me all of this all the time. Oh, you mean we get to go to Kerzim and see Medivh? Yes, please. Awesome. But also, like, I'm building a golem. Your golem looks stupid. It looks dumb. That's not even how it looks like in the game. This is stupid. There's so many moments where I was like, I don't care.
I understood half of what you just said.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm aware that a lot of people are going to have no idea what this is the nichest episode we've done in a while.
Possibly.
But for those of you who have not seen the Warcraft movie, maybe we just need to enter into our new favorite moment in the podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite news segment.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm realizing that you agreed to do it, I don't know how I feel like I'm going to probably jump in there rudely, and I apologize ahead of time.
See that you do.
It's time to move into plot drop. For those of you who maybe have not seen Warcraft or haven't seen it in a very, very long time, or didn't watch it because we didn't do it for the watch along because you guys are all ungrateful listeners.
Zacchaeus!
I only have so much time to watch a movie.
You will watch what I tell you to watch.
You watch what I tell you to watch. I don't care if Speed 2 was really bad.
It was really
I don't care.
And it was really bad.
Oh my god, that movie was trash.
It was very bad.
Even Sandra Bullock said it was a big piece of crap. Adam, why don't you drop that plot of Warcraft in our segment, Plot Drop?
I'm going to try.
You have 30 seconds.
Nope, that's not. Bad guys, good guys, swords and hammers, and the fell magic, and soul sucking, and turns coats, and stabbing, and only the beginning. That was 30 seconds.
Okay.
Let me try again. Okay. We start with a voiceover that is like, hey, it was a real life or a live action version of a cinematic from one of the original games. I was like, oh, great, we're in trouble. So on another planet, another realm, a race of orcs is in trouble because their planet's destroyed. They got to go somewhere else for resources. So they go to Azeroth and start wrecking shop.
How do they get there? That's important.
They suck the souls out of another race of sentient beings on the planet, but I know who they are because I played
portal. The word is portal.
They go through a portal to Azeroth
yes.
to get their resources and kill everybody. And some of them are these orcs. Some of them are decent people, and some like Worf, a good Klingon. Other of them are But like others are like just warmongers and bad and just want to like kill everybody and take their stuff. So there's some good and there's some bad. And then meanwhile, there are humans and they are in the kingdom of Stormwind, in the castle of Stormwind, and they kind of know what's going on, but not really.
Eastern kingdoms. They're in the Eastern Kingdom.
Sure. The orcs show up. They kill a lot of people. The humans try to stop them. They kind of skirmish here and there. We barely see it. The orcs do a lot of bad things. There's a half-orc person who gets captured so they can give information to the audience of what the heck's going on in this movie. The humans are all like, I don't believe you, blah, 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 blah. And the mages are all like, we have a MacGuffin box full of other things.
We're freaky mages. We're in freaky-deaky outfits.
We need to stop them from opening up the portal on this side so that more orcs don't come. And then there's a big fight in front of the portal, and like a lot of other things are going on, and they don't make any sense.
Well, the orcs are capturing people so they can reopen the portal.
Right, with their souls. Side. And then one, like the guardian of this realm or whatever, is like turned evil for some reason.
Yeah.
Never truly explained. And then they stop him.
It's never truly explained in a way that actually really frustrates me.
And then they stop him at the portal, and then it's like, okay, a lot of people are dead, but like it's only the beginning.
Yeah.
Guys, this movie's really bad.
It's really bad.
It's just
what frustrates me the most about the whole concept.
And I think I did a pretty good job. Like that's kind of what it is.
You did all right. Medivh, the Guardian, is the one that technically like informed them about their presence, so they knew to invade. And what is not really explained very well at all is that Fel Magic there is the Legion, and they are an extraneous force led by a rogue old god. And there was like, it's not just like,
that's what was going on.
There's Fel Magic, and I'm like, yes, and there is an outward force that is like both puppeteering Medivh and Gul'dan to make this happen. So like, there's a lot more going on to this. It's like, now granted, I think it's more of a rigid adherence to like what Warcraft 1 is, and like they're not really like delving in, because that's stuff that gets explained later.
Yes,
but like,
for people who there's three general boxes of people when it comes to this, what this movie was trying to. The general audience who knows nothing about Warcraft.
Yeah,
they have no idea what's going on in this movie.
No,
there are the people like me who kind of know a little bit. Like I played 2 and 3, and I played WoW for a couple of years. So like, oh, I know some of these things, and that makes kind of sense. And like, oh, okay. And then there's people like Jay who just like, oh yeah, I know everything.
Yes.
This movie satisfied.
But even some of my knowledge of Warcraft 1 is a little bit sketchy at best.
Because who cares?
Because it's so far in the past.
Right.
And it was like a game that like, it's for me, I think that Duncan Jones got so lost in the sauce that he thought that this part of the source material was really prescient.
Yes.
Into understanding everything going forward.
Yeah.
And that is just not the case.
Not even close. Because like no one was happy with this movie.
No.
People who had no idea what was going on, people who kind of had an idea what was going on, and people like you who was like, oh, I know everything about basically a lot of stuff. Everyone was like, this is bad.
I've met people that liked the movie and liked the effects, and were like, oh, it's kind of fun. It was like a little romp, and I was like, the majority of the people that I know that are really furious at this movie are big Warcraft fans.
Oh wow, okay.
Like, if anything, it just like you alienated the one group of people that like actually this is the target audience for.
Yeah.
Because you have enough people that are into this world that it would be weird. Any other game franchise, it would be weird to assume that the people who like the game will show up for it.
Yeah, true.
But Warcraft is one of those ones where I'm like, you have people who are dyed in the cloth. The amount of people that have like Horde versus Alliance tattoos.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these are people who have like really given up a lot to watch this movie. And the long and the short of it, but also storytelling wise, we don't really have a sense of time.
Nope.
And that's a big no-no for me in a movie.
Sure.
If I don't know how long were the orcs there before all this happened?
Yeah, I mean they built a base. It seems like
they built a base. They're building a portal.
Yeah,
that indicates to me they've been here a while. But it also doesn't like any of the combats or interactions between humans and orcs. It feels like the first time, and I'm like,
it feels like it's been like a week.
it feels like it's been a week, and there's no way they've.
There's no way. There's no way.
The timing of it is weird. They explain that like Garona is half orc and she's still there,
But she looks human.
but they don't. The movie will lead you to believe that she is half human, and she is not. She's half Draenei, and that's why she's technically an outsider to the Horde.
What's a Draenei? We don't
Exactly.
know.
The Draenei, all those people that got their souls sucked out at the beginning that you
Yeah.
kind of vaguely see. What's the Draenei? Oh, well, that's in the expansion. Well, screw you. How about?
Yep.
I
Here's the sin of this movie is they really tried to make a love letter, I think, to the Warcraft franchise. And what they should have done, because this is, again, 2016, so anything after 2010, in my head, is like, Marvel's been here long enough that you should know how to do this.
Yes.
If you're doing a movie off of a deep original content with deep lore, you need to realize you need to dumb this way down for a general audience to understand. This movie...
And give Easter eggs to people who know what they're talking about.
You should understand...
Like Khadgar turning the guy into a sheep. That was hilarious.
Yeah, polymorph. Yeah, that's a fun spell.
Yeah.
But like, it's just, you crammed way too much into this movie. It was far... Because here's the thing. When I was doing research, I thought most of the characters in this movie were made up for the movie.
No.
And none of them were.
No, dude.
They were all characters from the game.
Nope. It's
which
all,
just
this
like...
is all canon, dude.
This just seems like you guys just made this up. But they didn't. Because in the original game, there are two different campaigns.
Yeah.
There's one for the orcs and one for the humans, and they're two different storylines. This movie is both of those campaigns squashed into a 2-hour movie. That is too much story for 2 hours. You get not enough time with anybody.
And also, they want us to root for the humans, but if anything, the most humanity we get in this movie is from the orcs.
Yes.
Like, Duratan and Draka, like, all of that stuff is very, very good.
Sure.
And I like seeing the origin story of Thrall. Like, I kind of like that stuff. And also, like, I think the performances of all of the orcs are some of the best performances in the movie.
Absolutely.
I also think Lane and Lothar both having the same haircut and general like facial features really did a disservice to this movie because I was confused as to who was who a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And also a lot of the orcs kind of look similar, and I was like, I don't know who's what and what is actually happening. And Khadgar and his little goatee made me want to punch him.
Oh, okay.
Dude, Khadgar's such a big deal, and they made him such a weeb.
He was a weeb.
I was like, I'm gonna put this kid in a locker, and I was like, and this is the next Guardian? Like, come on, man. Like, I can't even. Like, it just made it like... And also, you give us like 2 seconds in Ironforge with the dwarves.
Why?
That's the thing, is that a lot of this stuff in Warcraft 1 is before the Alliance is even, like,
There are no elves and there are no dwarves in Warcraft 1.
And that's the stuff I want to see.
Yeah, it's humans versus orcs.
I understand
so why
that
are there...
this... I understand that this is the pedigree for everything coming after it.
Sure.
But you didn't... This movie did not... find the fun.
No.
In any way.
This movie wasn't fun.
This movie was not fun.
No.
It had little glimpses of fun. Most of the times the glimpses of fun were when the orcs were just being awesome. Like, dude, the challenge, the Makgar,
the duel?
Yeah, when War Chief challenges Gul'dan.
Sure, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like, that is good. And he, like, sucks the souls out of him. And, and they're like, you want to follow this guy?
Yeah.
Like, and it actually turns on him. I was like, that is awesome. Or when anyone's flying on a griffin, because that was so good. Oh, I love it. And they're playing the Warcraft. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Were they?
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. It was all, that's the thing is that, like, Duncan Jones is a huge Warcraft fan. He did such an amazing job, like, with a little, like, even the opening sequence is the opening cinematic of Warcraft 1.
Yeah, I know.
It's awesome.
Sure, I guess. It just sets the movie off on the wrong tone.
This
movie's too complicated.
I just don't care, too.
Yeah. It's too complicated. It needed to be dumbed all of the way down for the general audience.
Yeah.
The lore is too deep. There's too much going on. You need to pick one storyline and go with it. You picked all of them.
My fix goes in the exact opposite direction of what you're saying.
Well,
because I think it's like either for me the sin of it is that like it was pretty complicated, but not enough. It's the kind of thing where it's like either you lean into it or you dumb it all the way down.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
But also,
this is the first movie though. This is the first thing for
most people's intro to the Warcraft world. Most people, is World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
By the start of World of Warcraft, all of these characters are long dead.
Yep.
Long dead. Nobody knows who a lot of these people are who just casually played World of Warcraft.
I didn't.
There's no end point for a lot of people here. And that is the greatest sin of the movie. Because if you tell a different story,
yes, with
the world building you've done,
yes,
and the cinematic marvel that is a lot of the CG in this movie,
absolutely, yeah,
you have a slam dunk. Like there are this movie is basically you had a high-end sports car with someone who doesn't know how to drive stick shift in it.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Had all the right pieces to just hit the stratosphere, and then it never got off the runway.
Well, speaking of someone who has no idea how to drive a stick shift, I think it might be time, Jay, if we throw it over to our producer, Brian.
In his favorite segment, when he rolls that beautiful bean fun fact footage.
Hey. Like that, Brian? You can't drive stick shift.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I can.
Is it?
Kinda.
Can he? Can Brian drive stick?
I think...
This part's all gone, so I have no idea.
I do not think so, no.
Oh.
Thank you, gentlemen. Producer Brian here, and today we're trying to fix 2016's Warcraft. Before we start, though, I do have to say no, I cannot drive stick shift. However, I'm gonna have to learn if I'm ever going to be a contestant on The Amazing Race. Anyway, back to Warcraft. This movie was directed by Duncan Jones and stars Travis Fimmel, Paula Patton, Daniel Wu, Ben Foster, Dominic Cooper, and Toby Kebbell. This movie is based on the video game series, the first one coming out in '94, and then World of Warcraft coming out in 2004. Now, the budget for this movie was $160 million. It only made $439 million, but realistically, the budget was around $500 million-ish with marketing spend. So realistically, it came out evenish, but in the United States, it only made around $47 million. Overseas, it made the rest of the money. This is the highest grossing video game adaptation in China. Even though it came out even, it's wild that this doesn't have some sort of a sequel. Here's some fun bean facts about the Warcraft movie. Sam Raimi was actually attached to direct at one point. And then at another point, Yu Bol made a bid to direct this film, but Blizzard turned him down immediately. And then finally, Duncan Jones had a really tough shoot. At the beginning of the shoot, he found out that his wife was diagnosed with cancer. And at the end of the shoot, his father, David Bowie, yes, Duncan Jones's father is David Bowie, died of cancer. So it was a pretty rough time for him. Anyway, Warcraft has a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes if you care. So, back to you, gentlemen.
Wow, good job, Brian.
Great job, Brian.
Well, that was a lot of information about this really bad movie.
Yeah, and also, as you're editing this, if you need help with any of the details, just text me. If you need help remembering names. And here's the thing, I love World of Warcraft, and I don't even remember half these people's names. I was like, I know Lothar's technically Anduin because, like, you know, he's named at... Eventually, like, Varian is there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. How do I have a wife?
Yeah. You have a kid on the way.
I know.
How?
I know.
How?
I know. As I was watching this movie the other night, Kimberly, like, came into my office, and she's like, what are you watching? I was like, oh, the Warcraft movie for Fix It. And she was like, what's happening? And I was like, I can't even. I could start. I was like, I'm going to pause this movie and I could start telling you what's going on, but like, you're going to walk out. Yeah, you're not going to be happy just with what happens.
It's better for our relationship.
Yes.
That you just go away now.
I'm like, and it's so weird. Do you have any like franchises that like you have like that are huge in your own headcanon, but like Amanda has no like touch point on?
Well, I mean, Star Wars kind of.
Okay.
Because I can pretty much.
Yeah, she's not really into Star Wars.
I can recite Legends pretty much chapter and verse, for the most part.
But I think there's enough cultural penetration of Star Wars that she can at least like.
Oh yeah, but I'm going to go with like, hey, when
No,
Thrawn shows
I know.
up and Jason
But, like,
and Jane and the Vaughn
I was talking
War
about being
and
excited for Diablo 4, and I was like, I'm mostly excited for the story. And she's like, what's the story? I was like, I can't even like, we can't even get into that. Like, it's not. You're not gonna want to know. You don't actually want to know, but it bums me out that like
you can't share it with her.
Yeah, because that's fine. People have their own interests. There's
That's
stuff
why you
that
have
she
friends.
knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. That's why I'm your work wife. Hello.
Hello. Well,
God of War, like God of War.
Oh, okay.
Those games are really good, but especially the last two have been like just some of the best storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you would really. I think as you
play
become a
just
father, after a little bit when you find time, I think you playing those games are going to have a really deep impact on you.
Interesting.
Because it's truly like just a story about a father and son just doing their thing, and that relationship, I think it's going to like you're going to be like, my boy, this is how dad feels. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But there's some for the most. I mean, like Ninja Turtles. Oh, I could just talk Amanda's ear off about Ninja Turtles.
We know what it is. It's Power Rangers.
And then there's also Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Which, guys,
don't get them started.
Don't get me started. For a while, I could name every season in order. For a while, I don't know. I think I still lose it now somewhere around Lightspeed Rescue and Jungle Fury. I think I start losing the
Jungle Fury is where it gets weird, a little wonky for me too. Get lost in the jungle, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Power Rangers movie's coming out soon. Wait for that episode. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
I think it's time to fix it, Jay.
I think it's time to fix it. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm sitting here being like, I don't know if my criticism of this movie has been sufficient enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I really got my point across.
You need to
like
say
how
more words.
Yeah, it's like I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Warcraft.
Let me ask you this. Were you more and this may be the wrong franchise to talk to you about, but were you more disappointed in this or Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within?
This.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Final Fantasy has always been a mixed bag.
Okay.
Final Fantasy has always been a mixed bag. Them throwing a curveball of the Spirits Within is also, but also I think with the Spirits Within, I think there is like something cultural we're missing.
Maybe.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Like I think there's something.
I don't know.
There's some connection there that we're missing.
The Western audience missed.
Must be.
Maybe.
That's the only explanation.
Because how in God's name was this movie made?
Whereas, like, when you have a world that's so
fleshed out
with Warcraft, this is far more disappointing.
Okay.
When there were so many things went right with this movie, from a like design perspective.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, the design team nailed it. Yeah.
Golly, those orcs are so freaking cool.
They're so good. They are better than the Na'vi.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Avatar fans.
Yeah.
These orcs are way better than the
it's
Na'vi.
way cooler.
Also, the orcs could beat the crap out
because
of the Na'vi.
also like the actors that they hired for these orcs, like you can like really see the performances through them.
Yeah.
Like it's just so good. Like there are snapshots of true greatness in this film.
There are.
It just it's the one Ben Foster performance I truly despise.
Who has Ben Foster?
Medivh.
Oh.
Yeah. I think he's a wonderful actor most of the time in this movie. It's also because he had nothing to do. I
can't go crazy.
I'm so I don't even know if this is good podcasting today. I just like am so lost in the sauce with how like
this is your wheelhouse. Bud.
Should have been the best thing. This should have been this should still be a movie franchise.
Yeah, we should at this point, 7 years later. Yeah, we should be up to Warcraft 3,
dude.
Yeah,
dude. I can't even. We need to start fixing this thing because I'm starting to get more upset.
I know. I can tell. Okay, I'm going first.
Okay.
So here's so this is my general thesis for this fix. Since I don't know this stuff as well as you do,
Sure.
I'm not precious about this story.
No, and I don't need you
So
to be.
I'm going the Marvel route.
Great.
I'm going to try to make Warcraft 1 an actual movie.
I think that is the most reasonable thing to do here.
So like I'm
going
changing
in
the
a
story.
wildly different direction.
I'm changing the story so it fits into a movie that would lead people to either want to watch the next movie, investigate, oh, like this seemed fun, let me go back to see the game. Oh, they told a different story in the movie. Oh, that makes sense because it's only a 2-hour film and there's like 20 hours worth of gameplay in this RTS.
Yes.
So there's obviously different things here. So, but this is going to be a freaking Warcraft movie that tries to get you to be like, isn't this weird and fun? Don't you want to check out WoW or these original RTS games?
Yes.
So, we start in a quiet human hamlet. And we're going to spend the next couple minutes of just seeing the world of Azeroth and the people, how they interact. They're talking about Stormwind. They're talking about hunting boars and other the fetch quests that kind of happen at the beginning of WoW and stuff like that, right? It's just the normal trivialities of life in just a normal little town.
I'm listening to you. I'm just trying to find the right location for it.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just trying. I'm going to help you out with some of the nerdy
and I'm
details.
going to need I'm going to need those
yeah.
details. So it's just normal for a good 3 minutes of just a normal human town, and then someone says something about, man, game has been a little scarce the past couple of days, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot to hunt, and there's not. And thank God we have meat stores for a while because man, there's no deer anywhere. Womp womp womp. And then all of a sudden, right in the middle of a conversation, the people just passing on the street saying hello, the ground starts to shake, and plates start falling off the shelves, and glasses rattling in the windows, and everyone's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And then all of a sudden, just out of the forest, a band of orcs, just in all their glory, just rips through this town. And I'm talking the most violence and gore that we can have in a PG-13 movie. These orcs run roughshod over this town. It's really, really bad. It kind of almost turns into a horror film for a moment of just people running and screaming for their lives, just getting snatched out of the air, just getting scrounched, getting that crunch. It's
How close do you want this to be to Stormwind?
not too close.
Okay, so I think this should be Lakeshire.
Okay.
I think that's Lakeshire or no, the Dark Portal is a little bit more south. Probably Stonard.
Okay. The town of Stonard.
No. Let's just say let's say Lakeshire.
It's Lakeshire.
Lakeshire.
It's Lakeshire in the town in the kingdom of Stormwind.
Little town.
So all this carnage, this is a war film. This is a war movie. It's called Warcraft. So I'm treating this as a war film.
Sure.
So all this stuff, the town is being razed to the ground, and we're gonna follow a young teenage boy running through all of this, some miraculously not getting hit with arrows or javelins or getting crunched by hammers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just eventually finds his father in all this chaos, and his dad turns to his son and says, "You need to get out of here. Take my horse. Go to Stormwind. Tell Anduin that we're under attack. The country or the kingdom's under attack." And the kid's of course doesn't want to leave his father, and he's like, "You need to go right now." He's just this is a war film. He is crying. He is his wife just died. It's really, really bad, you guys. Maybe we desaturate it just a little bit. Just because it's serious. The kid gets on a horse, and then his dad turns to face Blackhand. And we just hear his dad get gutted in soft focus because we're focused on the kid. The camera's right on the horse.
Yeah.
Right? The kid's riding off, tears streaking down his face because you can hear his dad just die behind him because he's got to get to Stormwind.
Yes.
Credits. The drums hit Warcraft. It's
Awesome.
it's serious. Credits come, the intro's over. Right back to the kid, just beating it, trying to. This horse is probably gonna die on when it gets to Stormwind.
Yeah.
But the camera is focused on the kid. Blood streak, tears on his eyes. The camera pans up off of him, and we see a shot from above, and it just keeps panning out. So we get a sense of scale as to where Lakeshire is.
Are we talking? We're getting like a montage of him on the horse riding to Stormwind.
Yes, we're going to, but we're gonna pan up here, but so we can actually kind of see the terrain of the kingdom of Stormwind, so we know where this attack was and where Stormwind is, kind of geographically.
Well, I would have. I mean, here's the thing.
Sure.
If we're putting in he would have to pass through.
Okay.
Wait, I'm going off of. No, honestly, we'll probably put him in Westfall just so they can go through Elwyn Forest, because
Sure.
if we're putting him in Loch Modan, he would probably have to travel. If you wanted this from a shot perspective, he would have to pass through Dwarf territory and have to pass probably by Ironforge.
Okay, we don't want that because
This
is just orcs versus humans.
Okay.
So
Such a shame.
We see, because this is orcs versus humans.
I understand.
We're gonna get to the alliance in the next movie,
We're in
because
Westfall,
this movie's good
then.
enough.
They're invading Westfall.
This movie is good enough that there's going to be a sequel. So we just see geographically where this first attack happened and where Stormwind did. There is, it's probably a couple days. Maybe he made it in a day and a half because the horse is probably going to die when he gets to the castle. But we see okay, we just skim over to Stormwind. It is quite a distance. There's a lot of people and hamlets and towns between where this attack was and where Stormwind is. We get a general sense of where all of this is.
Stay at a Goldshire. That's where all the perverts hang out.
Sure. So we get to Stormwind, and the kid just blasts through the gates, and of course the guards go after him or whatever. Rabble. And eventually, we see this kid run through the town. Again, we're gonna see this kid go through Stormwind. And maybe the horse unfortunately dies as it gets there, but he jumps off the horse and keeps running to try to find Anduin. And we'll get a general sense of what this city looks like, because this is going to be really important, and we only see a couple of glory shots from outside. We don't actually get a sense of what the city is like.
Yeah.
But we get a sense of what the city is like in this shot. And eventually he finds Anduin. He's like, my father, this is a MacGuffin. Friends from back in the day, training camp. Somehow, some reason to be you should need to listen to me. My father, my entire town of Lakeshire is dead. These giant monsters showed up. We just, and the kid's passed out. And he's okay, we got, someone take care of this kid. I got to talk to the king. Anduin goes talks to the king. I was hey, the kingdom's under attack. The king doesn't really truly believe him, but he's you know what? Okay, how about you take a small squad of soldiers and head on down to the next town that would be next closest town to Lakeshire and see what's going on. So Anduin, and we can have Khadgar there. He's I'm just a young mage apprentice. I'll go with you, but sure, I guess. We learn they can talk a little bit on the way of what his job is. He's a mage that maybe, I don't know if you want to keep that he left or whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm looking at the map. I'm realizing this is also post-plague. So
the post-plague map, Jay. What are you doing to me, man? Stop undercutting my story.
Never mind.
So they head down. They're going down to check. And they get to the town before the town they're actually thinking about going to, and they find that town under attack. But there's archers in a tower, trying to, pepper and orcs or whatever. Some more gameplay of what the actual game is like.
Yeah,
the towers,
moving troops around.
So we see some soldiers, not a lot, but some. And Anduin comes in and starts taking control of what the situation and starts ordering people around, so we get a little sense of what the gameplay would be the humans are doing slightly better because there's some soldiers there was maybe one or two survivors that got out of Lakeshire. They'd be they're coming, everyone to arms, so they can kind of armed a little bit. So but Anduin and Khadgar and the troops help evacuate the town. The town's getting still a lot of people getting killed. The town's burning, but Anduin and Khadgar are able to evacuate some people. It's you need to get to Stormwind. We go, we'll take you back. We got to go. They head back. Yes, the country is under attack. We need to mobilize everybody. Because, trust me, I was just there. There's blood all over his arm and stuff like that. And the king, Lane, believes him. Great. Mobilize the kingdom. So now we see a little bit of a montage of soldiers being trained in barracks, archers, training on dummies, catapults being created, knights on horses.
Okay.
All the units from the game are there being trained and doing things. So they go out, but it's like, okay, so we get there's a little bit of time passes, not a whole bunch, a couple of days, and we'll see like time passes as all the Stormwind's getting ready, and we see refugees kind of coming into Stormwind. Anduin goes out one more time. It's like, you need to go out to see where the enemy is because they are taking their sweet time getting here. You need to evacuate as many villages as possible. Get as many of our citizens in here. Because I am a good king. I want to protect my people. Get them into Stormwind. We can't take them in the field, but we can take them here.
Yeah.
Get everyone to Stormwind. So Anduin goes out one more time, and he takes Khadgar with him, and they show up. And this is like the first real Warcraft battle of the so like we're not gonna do like the upstop, but like we're gonna see like Anduin like take control of like people here, go do things. Like he's ordering troops around. They're actually like a big cool fight, like a real big battle in this town. And everything seems to be going well for the humans until the necromancers show up.
Oh!
Because it turns out the orcs also can use magic. And Khadgar's like trying to help and like they can do stuff. But like this, they were not expecting the orcs to have magic.
Are we talking Gul'dan shows up?
No.
No.
Because Gul'dan doesn't show up in the story until actually in the second game.
That's true.
And we're dumbing this down because it's just at this point, and in this town, Anduin sees two captains. It's Blackhand and Doomhammer, and we can see them both like having different strategies. Blackhand is like just go murder, but people are orcs are dying left and right, but he just cares about just burning everything. Doomhammer's trying to be a little smarter, trying to have victory, but without as many orc losses. But you can see that there's a little bit of strife between them because they have different types of leadership mindsets. But Anduin's able to like, okay, we're losing the situation. Those two guys are crazy. They have magic. We need to go. Everyone get out. Khadgar, you need to go to your magic city and get the mages out here. We're gonna
Toot sweet. Like the Kirin needs to know what's up.
They need to know what's up. Get them out here. So Khadgar leaves to go to this magic city. Anduin Dalaran it is, and Anduin
you played Warcraft.
Not well
World
enough
of
to
Warcraft, right?
Yeah, not well enough to know the names of cities.
When did you play?
Horde, man.
No, when did you play?
World of Warcraft?
Yeah,
at the beginning.
Oh, so you never got to Wrath of the Lich King?
No.
Oh, Dalaran is the main hub city in actually a good amount of expansions. It's because they eventually make the city fly.
Cool.
So that's fly.
Neat.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'm
okay,
so
great.
Sorry.
So Anduin gets back to Stormwind and like
it's important to me that you know that.
Thank you. I appreciate the knowledge.
Don't you patronize me.
I hear you.
No.
So they gets back to Stormwind and is like, great, okay, we're getting as many people in the city as possible. And when I need to send you out one more time, there is a mountain pass, and I don't know if this is true or not, but whatever. There's a mountain pass that we need to block off to force the orcs to go a different way so we can harry them on their way here. We can hopefully weaken them on their way up to Stormwind because they're headed right here.
Yeah.
But if they get to that mountain pass, they can get here quicker, and we can't stop, or we can't whittle away their troops. We need to have them in the open field. So Anduin heads out to this mountain pass and with a bunch of troops to try to defend and block off this pass.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a fighting retreat to blow up, so they can't get through. So they show up, and this time the orcs are very prepared and they're getting routed. They're not going to be able to block the pass because they're just ready. They were just ready. They have more sorcerers or whatever, more necromancers, and everything looks really bad until Khadgar shows up with some mages and lays it down.
Yeah.
So the mages are here. Woo! Yeah. Pew, 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 fireballs and polymorphs and all sorts of cool other things. So they get pushed back and they blow up the mountain. So
I love the current tour.
So the
Can I
pass
tell
is
you another
blocked.
fun fact about Dalaran?
Please do, Jay.
In the game,
because
if you go to where Dalaran used to be, because they
was
flew
to be on
away,
the ground and then it started flying.
So it's technically close to the Undercity, which was
the Undercity.
What's where
it's where all the undead are.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
And it's where Arthas came from. And after he killed the king,
right.
The city went. Anyways, so Dalaran was close to there. I made a mage in World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
And you have portal spells. And so, but there was a rare spell you could find that was a portal spell, but it's a portal to old Dalaran.
Back in time?
No, like no, not like back in time.
Oh.
It is a spell that is like targeted to Dalaran where it used to be.
Oh.
And it was a very rare spell, but if you cast it and went into the portal, you would just pop up in the middle of the air, like above the crater where Dalaran left,
Yeah.
and fall to your death. But if you cast Slow Fall on yourself, you wouldn't die. But it was the best because when Dalaran was the hub city, you could have the old Dalaran portal. Be like, oh, we finished the raid, everybody. Oh, let's go back to Dalaran. And be
If you
like,
just
old Dalaran.
troll people,
and
everybody?
everyone would just fall to their death and be like, damn it, Jay. Yeah.
Cool story, Jay.
I just need you to know. Wanted to. I have fun things to say, and I just wanted to tell you. I love. It's the best game of all time.
I know you love this game. So they block the pass. They force the orcs out, and then we can see the humans, picking them off from the sides, like just trying to whittle down their numbers as they get to Stormwind. This is Act 3. Did you like Helm's Deep? Great. Because Act 3 is all Helm's Deep.
Rad.
Stormwind edition.
Yeah, man.
Just a bunch of orcs. The whole kingdom's aligned. Like the king gives a rousing speech. Like it's Helm's Deep all over again because it's really fun, and we can just the orcs eventually break through. The king dies. Lothar takes over, like to rally the troops. The orcs can kind of get pretty far, but like the humans were ready. We already saw the layout of the town from earlier in the movie, so like we can see them push through. But like the humans eventually, like people stop running away and like we gotta fight. We gotta just pick up where and just start like everyone's, and then eventually the orcs get stopped halfway through the city, and Anduin was able to rally the troops, and it gets to a standstill. Or they can't. No one's making any progress.
Gotcha.
And eventually, Doomfist and Blackhand can finally have it out, and Doomhammer can kill Blackhand right there on the field of battle because that's eventually what happened in the thing. Mm-hmm. So because the battle was going poorly, the orcs should have won.
Yes.
They had the numbers. They should have won.
Yeah.
But because of Blackhand's leadership, they didn't. So Doomhammer's like, I can't win this now.
Yeah.
And Anduin's just like, we're barely holding on. A lot of the people are out in the boats right now. Like the Stormwind is a lot of it's burning, but they look at each other and it's like, this isn't over. The Horde will return. And Anduin's like, Stormwind will always stand.
Yeah,
we look forward to killing you later. So the Horde retreats. Stormwind's still there. They start rebuilding. And I was like, and Anduin takes over. He gets leadership. And I was like, we need to reach out to as many of our allies as possible. This is far from over. We're going to need the help.
Yeah.
End of the movie.
Great. Okay. I'm into it.
Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff's what happened in the game, just like story point wise. Just make it what people already know. Give it the Warcraft shine, and like have some freaking fun in a war
show them
film.
Lordaeron, like show them all the places, like show the world.
Yeah. And then the beginning, like the second movie would be like, okay, now the Alliance starts. Even though that's not exactly what happened in the games. Like, okay, no, Stormwind's still here. Humans, we need to rally everyone here on Azeroth.
Yeah.
Because we're all screwed if the orcs, like, so the elves come, the dwarves come, like, they build the frickin' Alliance to stop. Oh, in all the time between the movies, they started building the Dark Portal.
And the orcs do the smartest thing they ever did in recruiting the trolls.
It was Exarch.
Yeah.
So, like, that's just distract, to take all that lore out. Yeah. Make it real nice and easy. Just make it nice and easy. Mm-hmm. Good guys, bad guys.
1000%.
And because then in the second one, you can be like, hey, while this stuff was going on in the first movie, this is what was going on with the orcs. This is what led them here. Oh, there's more to it than just an angry mob of other creatures from we don't know where.
Yeah.
Oh, they're from another planet.
They're aliens.
Oh, they're actually aliens.
That's my favorite thing about. It's my favorite thing a lot about like Warcraft lore is that like a lot of it is extraplanetary. Mm-hmm. It's not just like they're like cursed by magic. It's like no, they came from space. Like the Draenei when they finally show up, they show up in spaceships. Like they're aliens. Like the Legion, it's like they're aliens. Oh, okay, but they kind of seem like demons. I mean, yeah,
space demons.
Space demons. Oh, spooky ghosts. They're like their gods are the like quote unquote similar to. They're more similar to like the MCU's version of Thor.
Oh,
than anything
Asgard
else.
is like I see. What
Like
you're
they're
saying.
gods,
Yeah.
quote
Yeah.
unquote, but they're just aliens.
Kind of like a god race, but like of aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Titans are, they're just like kind of aliens, and they just kind of created a universe, and here we are.
And here we are.
Yeah, and then one of them was like,
I feel like going crazy.
no, actually, Sargeras's plan is actually like pretty. It's drastic,
Sure.
but it's pretty prescient.
Tell us more about Sargeras'
Like,
plan, Jay.
can't the old gods continue to infect all of these planets. That a lot of them have world souls inside of them, similar to Celestials that can eventually become Titans.
Yeah.
And the old gods keep infecting all of these planets, and they can't stop them. And
Right,
Sargeras
yeah.
is finally like, we just need to destroy our creation in
Yeah.
order to stop the old gods from corrupting them.
Yeah. Stupid corruption.
I have a wife.
You have a baby on the way, Jay.
Yeah, so he just you know what the Legion is? It's just him go from planet to planet, recruiting the life forms on that planet to help him destroy other planets.
Yeah, because I need to, because
It's
of the world
nuts.
souls. Yeah,
It's nuts.
because the wheel needs to break, Jay.
Yeah, man. Because the old
Just like-
gods and the Void Lords are the actual bad guys.
Yeah, the stupid.
We haven't even
void-
really gotten even into the Void yet. And we are like 7 expansions deep, and we haven't even gotten there
stupid
yet.
void
I don't
lords.
even want to. I can't even.
Don't even get me started on the void lords.
I stopped
Void-
playing in
void
Warlords of Draenor, but I really keep up with the lore because it's really important to me.
Void
So I watch a
lords.
lot of YouTube videos. Okay, my fix of Warcraft.
sure you
I
don't
know no one is listening to this episode.
You don't want to tell us about Illidan or anything, Jay?
Illidan is actually in my fix.
Haha. Of course you put Liam in your fix.
You are not prepared.
Jay,
my
I
fix.
know I'm not prepared for your fix.
Okay.
Tape your butt shits, everybody.
Here's my fix. It's actually not that crazy.
Okay.
It's not that crazy.
If you say so.
I am looking at this. Okay. If we are talking about a Warcraft film franchise that ultimately everyone can say what they want to say, at the end of the day, they made a Warcraft movie because they assumed it would get people hyped about this world, and they would want to get a subscription to World of Warcraft and play
Synergy.
that game.
Yeah.
It was all a big commercial.
It was.
for their big game.
It was supposed to be, yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
This movie also came out in 2016.
Yes.
2016, we are in the height of Game of Thrones, like
Yes.
like insanity.
Before it turned bad.
Before it turned, everyone is losing their minds
So like
about
season
Game of
4 or
Thrones,
5,
give or take.
give or take.
Or that was maybe during the lull, like when they had like 2 years off. Remember that?
Between between okay.
So like even there was a gap for something like this exists.
Sure.
My fix of the Warcraft movie, we are not making a movie.
Shut up.
Warcraft is going to be a show a la Game of Thrones. Multiple episodes, hour-long episodes. We are going to let this breathe enough. And here's the thing. People are like, "Oh, it's too complicated." And I'm like, "Game of Thrones is too complicated." And you guys just just ate it all up.
Yeah.
Ooh, yum yum.
Because there wasn't enough time and they good writing
let it
to
breathe.
Yes.
So we're doing Warcraft show.
Wow.
And I have it structured as 8 episodes.
Okay.
Now, this being said,
season 1.
Once we get to a certain point, I will amend because I think there's a different way to do it.
Okay.
But we'll get there.
you have different endings.
So Warcraft, the HBO drama.
I was going to say what network
Sunday
it was
nights.
on.
I think it's got to be HBO.
Okay.
Because it gives them something in that lull between Game of Thrones seasons.
So what you're saying is this is not TV.
It's HBO.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Indeed, you got me.
Why do you
Don't
hate
en-
us?
don't
Why
encourage
do you
me.
hate us, Warner Brothers?
Episode 1
Okay.
opens on a dreamscape, and we see a young green orc going through a dreamscape and meeting an oracle-like figure who transforms into ravens and things like that, and shows him a completely different like aspect of Azeroth that he has never seen before.
Okay.
And he gets a calling to a place called Kalimdor. Now during this dream sequence, or after this dream sequence, we get a good amount of lore dump for what led us to this point, like blasting kind of through Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2.
Sure.
Basically just giving us the information on the portal and all of that fun stuff. And that's interspersed through this dream sequence.
Okay.
And then after all of this lore dump happens and the Oracle kind of explaining through this dream to this young orc, Thrall wakes up in bed like sweating.
Right.
And is basically like, we got to go. I am turning Warcraft 3 into a season of Game of Thrones.
Wow.
We are skipping Warcraft 1. We are skipping Warcraft 2.
Yeah.
We are skipping to Warcraft 3, which gives us all of the characters from World of Warcraft that we still care about.
Yes.
All of these characters live there.
Yeah.
There is a lot that goes on in Warcraft 3.
Yes.
It's very intricate.
It is.
And it's the kind of story that it's still to this day, storytelling wise, one of my favorite games of all time.
Wow.
Warcraft 3 was so mind-blowingly awesome. This is where we're starting.
Okay.
In episode 1, after all of this Thrall sequence, and we see him express that he needs to find Kalimdor, and they're like, what are you talking about? We cut to... we see Arthas, who is defending Strongbad. With
what? Strongbad?
Strongbad.
Strongbad. Strongbad?
Like Strongbad.
Strongbad.
Strongbad. With his allies, Jaina Proudmoore.
Jaina!
From Theramore.
Yeah.
And in my casting, congrats, Laura Bailey, you're just playing Jaina. Because your performance of Jaina...
Oh, she's Jaina?
Oh, yeah, she's Jaina Proudmoore.
I had no idea.
Everyone's like, oh, can you believe she's this? And it's like, she's Jaina Proudmoore, and she will always be Jaina Proudmoore. Like, for Theramore. Suck it, nerds. Yeah, I'm just casting her. She's in the show. Congrats. And she's... Arthas is defending Strongbad with Jaina and Muradin, who I am going to pull a... what's-his-name from Ted Lasso. And... Muradin Strongbeard, I am going to approach the writing staff with me reading the sides of Muradin because I think I would be a very good Muradin. He's a very good dwarf, and I like dwarves. So
what? No.
I think I should be able to play Muradin. Muradin isn't technically in this part of the movie yet.
Oh, okay.
Or in the story, but I'm adding him in because I think I want to.
You're writing yourself in.
And I believe Uther Pendragon is also there as well, who is a paladin mentor to Arthas. As they are defending Strongbad, they figure out that there is a plague at work, and there is like an undead essence that is like basically infecting the cities of Eastern Kingdom, and Lordaeron is like in trouble. And they. Upon realizing this, they retreat back to Ironforge to kind of have like a big conversation.
The Dwarven City of Ironforge.
The Dwarven City of Ironforge, yes, indeed. Mostly because it's not featured a ton in Warcraft 3, and I want to give it a... And I feel like though this Warcraft movie tried to do that too, but like, we just got to be in Ironforge for some reason, just because it's cool. And at the end of this episode, we cut back to Thrall, who is making landfall in Kalimdor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just doing the thing.
Sure. Do it, yeah.
And then we open up on episode 2. Episode 2 will be The Culling of Stratholme.
Okay.
For those of you who know Warcraft, know it's an extraordinarily big deal. The undead have invaded far enough into Lordaeron to get to Stratholme. It's a very large human outpost, and so we have Jaina, Arthas, Uther, and Muradin there. And at this point, they defeat Kel'Thuzad, who is kind of an undead spellcaster.
Okay.
Who's leading this part of the charge of the plague.
Sure.
And then after defeating Kel'Thuzad, Uther Arthas and Uther have a very long conversation about what's to happen with the city. Like, everyone's infected. Mm-hmm. And it comes to, and this is before COVID, so we could get away with it. But Arthas makes the decision to cull Stratholme. That like everyone in here is infected, no one can be saved. They raise the city of Stratholme.
Well, that's an extremely good second episode to a thing.
Yes,
Because you have a big battle.
because here's the thing: Arthas is charming. He's a paladin. We love him, and he makes this choice, and
which
then
the audience would not see coming.
yes, after the culling of Stratholme, that's when we finally defeat Kel'Thuzad is defeated. The culling of Stratholme has happened, and then we have a standoff between who we find out is actually one of the real creatures like involved in this plague. Arthas meets Mal'Ganis for the first time.
Okay.
And Mal'Ganis is one of the Dreadlords who is kind of like a higher up in the Legion.
Okay.
So we figure out that the Legion is actually leading this plague.
Sure.
Arthas decides, gets wind. Everyone sleeps. Arthas has a dream about going to Northrend because that's where Mal'Ganis is. Jaina has a dream about Kalimdor as well.
Oh.
So they part their separate ways. Uther stays in Stratholme to kind of like make sure everything's okay. Muradin decides to go with Arthas to keep him safe because they're best buddies. And Jaina is disgusted by Arthas's move on Stratholme. Leaves, goes to Kalimdor.
All right.
Cut to Kalimdor.
Okay.
We see Thrall kind of like setting up an establishment there with like the orcs that he's brought with him. And they start settling. Them settling the land. They disturb but then eventually ally with the Tauren who live there, and we meet Cairn Bloodhoof for the first time.
Okay.
And so we see that allyship start to grow, but it's the kind of thing where like it basically Cairn sets up through their conversation like, hey, like you are a stranger in this world. Like there is a very specific balance of nature that happens here. And he's like, I can't go into details about it, but like you need to be careful in Kalimdor. This is not the promised land that you think it is. And then at the end of the episode, we cut to orcs like chopping down trees and like goblins helping them with their shredders and everything. Yeah. And then eventually we see through the woods. We see Tyrande Whisperwind, one of the leaders of the Night Elves, clock them.
Oh, buddy. Okay.
And repeat and like look to her sisters, and they're all riding panthers, and they look friggin' awesome.
Yes.
And she's like, "This needs to be dealt with." And then we just see them kind of cut in, and then that's where the episode ends.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're getting everybody we like here, man. We're getting Thrall, we're getting Cam, we're getting Jaina, we're getting Muradin, we're getting Arthas, there's so many different characters, but that's the thing. With Game of Thrones, we're fine with all multiple different characters.
Yeah.
We're fine with all that. That's so much fun.
Just time. We have time.
Episode 3. Great. Jaina arrives in Kalimdor.
Ooh, okay.
With her like human forces. And both her and Thrall have another dream that the Oracle is like there waiting for them, like and where to go. And so like they're both of them are like kind of racing to the Oracle a little bit.
Okay.
But as we see Thrall and Jaina move there, and Thrall leaves the forces with the base that they're building, the Night Elves we see the Night Elves attack from one side, and then from the other side we see God of the Forest, Cenarius, exit out and just start murking.
Okay,
orcs.
Who is that?
Cenarius is one of their kind of like god forces for the Night Elves. He's one of the dryads. You know, he has like the big horns, and he's like a centaur basically.
Cool. Okay.
He's like an important. He's an important force for the Night Elves.
Okay.
They attack the orcs, and the orcs like barely like make it out. And then through that we see Thrall has put Cairn has gone with Thrall, but he put Grom Hellscream in charge of the orcs.
Uh-oh.
And through defeating Cenarius eventually, and eventually finding...
Killing or defeating?
They kill Cenarius.
Oh, no.
Well, eventually. Well, they see what Cenarius is capable of. So, Grom Hellscream is basically... he is led by the Legion to a moon well, which is like a source of power for the Night Elves
Yes.
that's been corrupted. And basically, Grom Hellscream has himself drinks from this corrupted moon well, which has been corrupted by why can't I remember that? Manaroth, who is a demon that's around in Kalimdor. Manaroth is the one that like kind of corrupts the Moonwell, corrupts Grom Hellscream, and then the rest of the orcs there.
Oh no!
And so the orcs go into a like a blood fury, kill Cenarius, and like really like savage the Night Elves in a way that like
Thrall did not want this.
No,
Yeah.
in no way. It's like orcs at their worst.
Yes.
And so the Night Elves are kind of like on their back foot. And Manaroth is basically controlling these like chaos orcs while Thrall is away. Through this episode, Jaina and Thrall make it to the Oracle at the same time. There's a little bit of like a stand down conversation. The two of them inevitably join forces.
Of course.
The Oracle informs Thrall of like ways the Legion is kind of like influencing things like across all of Azeroth, and then also lets him know like what's happening back at his base camp with
Grom.
And they're like, and the Oracle's like, he can be healed. Like your people can be healed of this influence. He's like, I understand it's like a curse that you think you all have, but like this is something we can combat. And then at this point, it comes to light. There is an issue like with the three of them. They're not sure how to trust the Oracle, and then eventually comes to life that, and this is from Warcraft 3, that the Oracle and this prophet that has been putting all of these visions in their head is Medivh.
Oh no, but he was bad in the
I know
past.
Medivh, like was bad, but then put into ice. I can't remember how they get him back. I don't remember, but it's Medivh.
Okay.
Soap opera. It's Medivh. And he explains, we can get a little bit more backstory to like how he was influenced by the Legion in order to get the orcs here in the first place.
Sure.
So he's trying to like rid the world of the Legion.
Okay, he's penance.
Yes.
Yes.
So Jaina, at the end of this episode, Jaina and Thrall join forces. They capture Grom and all of the Chaos Orcs, and they heal them.
Oh, that's okay. Great. That's a nice little arc for the episode.
The end of this episode, though, is a Tyrande Whisperwind, leader of the Night Elves,
Yes.
licking her wounds, and even through. Then this has happened, and history repeats itself with this one over and over and over again. But she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna go nuclear." Now, granted, a lot of things happened to her in order to push her there, like the burning of the World Tree. That's a million years down the road. But she starts to wake up.
Wake up!
You see her in like a cave, waking up. Like they're druids who have been hibernating, and they're like kind of agents of war for the Night Elves.
Sure,
they're the males. They're usually a lot of the Night Elves troops are female, except for the druids who are male. And we see her pass Malfurion, and she's like, it's
name's awfully familiar to me.
Malfurion is one of the other leaders of the Night Elves and one of the head druids, but and Tyrande's partner.
Sure.
She was like, I'm gonna wake you up soon, hun, but I have one more thing to do that, and there's no way you're gonna let me do that before I do. And we see the camera turn around to the other side of the cave, and she begins waking up Illidan Stormrage.
Oh.
Who is Malfurion's brother.
Oh, okay.
And he is kind of persona non grata in the Night Elves, but he gets stuff done.
Yeah, he does.
So that's the end of that episode.
So that was all episode 3.
Episode 3.
Boof.
Now,
Boof.
episode 4.
Okay.
Northrend. We are making landfall on Northrend.
All right.
We
After
have
Arthas, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Arthas and Muradin and human forces have landed on Northrend.
And a bunch of red shirts.
Yes, pretty much.
Red
This is a
cloaks.
place we've never been before.
All right.
Basically, Arthas finds Frostmourne,
Yeah.
kills Mal'Ganis. Cut to the chase.
Okay, cool. That's a nice little battle episode.
We get the whole scene with Arthas claiming Frostmourne and Muradin the whole time being like, hey bud, bad idea.
I'm sorry, is that sword
Bad
talking
idea.
to you?
Hey bud, let's not. And eventually, like, Muradin is frozen, and like he casts all his humanity to destroy Mal'Ganis. And the sword talks to him.
Now, Mal'Ganis was the... Mal'Ganis again is...
Mal'Ganis is one of the Dreadlords.
The
and
ones that was...
one of the serious generals of the Legion forces.
Okay.
He was the one that was kind of puppeteering the stuff in Stratholme.
Yes. Okay. So the guy from episode 2.
Yeah, he went to Northrend to kill Mal'Ganis. He just found Frostmourne as kind of like a fun little
side quest.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
And then we cut back to, and this is kind of our big episode, and it's one of my favorite moments from Warcraft 3. We see Thrall and Grom track down Manoroth and kill Manoroth.
Okay, great.
And then the tail end of this episode is, Arthas returns to Lordaeron and kills his father.
Yeah.
The iconic scene of... It's one of my favorite moments in playing World of Warcraft ever was the first time I went to the Undercity and saw like the ruins of Lordaeron, and you walk in and there's the bell from that shot, and it's the whole like you see the whole promenade and everything, and I was like, oh, we're actually here. That's incredible. But that's now these 4 episodes.
Yes.
If you wanted to do a complete season of 8,
sure.
I think this is the first chunk that could very well be the first season.
So the season, you could split these 4 episodes up into 8 episodes.
I feel like you cover enough story that this could be 8 episodes if you wanted it to be.
Okay.
But I structured them as 4 episodes because I wanted to do all of Warcraft 3.
Okay.
But I feel like this could be a complete season because you're introducing all the characters.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing badass stuff.
Yes.
We're leaving some hanging chads. And
Yes.
it's just like, we just let Illidan out and we don't know what does that mean? Like, there's a lot going on here.
We just killed the king.
And we met everyone and we're interested.
Yeah. That's a really good cliffhanger.
I mean, Arthas killing his dad is like the perfect cliffhanger for like, and we see him turn around and he is no longer a paladin. Like, and I imagine like Uther being there and being like, Uther, no, or Arthas, no. Like, whoa, that's where season 1 I think ends. And the more that I'm talking about it now, the more I think I'm right.
Okay,
because we've met everybody, we set the stage.
Yeah,
this is like a Ned getting his head chopped off. Kind
yes,
of like
yes,
season 1 ended.
yes, it is.
So. Moving into episode 5.
Okay. Or episode 1 of season 2.
Episode 1, season 2. We see we open up episode 1 of season 2. Illidan it opens on Illidan.
Sure.
And he is just absolutely bodying the Legion and orcs. He's fighting them all and he's kicking butt and he's got those 2-sided swords.
Yeah.
You are not prepared for Illidan. Like, he is just absolutely getting stuff done. This is not technically how it works in Warcraft 3, but Illidan also gets a dream from the Prophet about the Skull of Gul'dan.
Okay. The Prophet being reformed.
Still Medivh.
Still reformed.
And this I think becomes it adds another interesting arc to the relationship with the Guardian. They're like, why would you influence Illidan to become part? Why would you let him do this? He's like, it's one of the only things that can defeat the Legion is things using Legion power. So one of you needed to have it.
Okay.
So Illidan. So this is like the one thing I'm kind of changing a little bit.
Sure.
He ventures towards the Skull of Gul'dan. The other person that is also trying to get it is Arthas. So we get a fight scene between Illidan and Arthas that is always fun to see.
This is still episode 1 or
this is
episode 5?
This is episode 1 of season 2 or
Holy.
episode 5. So he's going to go get the Skull of Gul'dan. Arthas is already there.
Where is
they
it?
fight in the middle of the fight. Illidan like absorbs the Skull of Gul'dan. And pretty much like kind of wipes the floor with Arthas about it.
Sure.
Because we need to see Arthas lose a little bit. And there needs to be an up and down. So this is whole cloth me rewriting stuff.
Awesome. That's okay. You got to change these stories for the medium that it's in.
And then after that happens, basically the Oracle has summons Thrall, Jaina, Tyrande, Malfurion, and Illidan.
Okay.
And so that's where that kind of conversation happens when like Illidan's there and he is Demon Hunter. Like he has horns, he has wings. Why is he here? This is not okay. And so we kind of start to get a little bit of a back and forth of like who's right and who's wrong here.
The good guys have different points of view on how to do the same thing.
Now, after this scene, we're getting another meetup scene where Arthas has called, now that he has destroyed Mal'Ganis, he has called to order all three. He has basically called out the other three Dreadlords and has a meeting with them.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And because they know they have to deal with him now.
Right.
And we get a lore dump about the concept of the Lich King.
Sure.
And we get a concept of like how it's the one thing that can fight the Legion, and it was technically like it was Legion made, but it is like one thing that could very well save Azeroth.
Oh, the Lich King was empowered or made.
This is also I'm kind of timey-wiming it a little bit because I want to give even as a Death Knight, I want Arthas to still trying to achieve something
That would be good.
Yes.
For the people of Azeroth. Yes.
And they tell him that he needs, in order to like fully understand what the Scourge is and what the Lich King is, the only person that fully understand that was Kel'Thuzad. So he needs to resurrect Kel'Thuzad.
Who, and that is?
That was the necromancer that was taking over Stratholme that he murdered a while back.
Oh, okay.
And so, basically, Arthas knows that like Kel'Thuzad's like tomb is very well guarded.
Sure.
And it's in a paladin stronghold.
Wow.
That is the known hangabout of Uther Pendragon.
So the good guys have this bad guy's body.
They've locked it down.
Yeah.
Because they know that
this can't get out.
No.
This guy's a bad guy. And this is still episode 5? Are we in episode 6 yet? Is this the next episode? This is a big ass episode.
I really like this stuff.
No,
I really like this stuff.
I
know.
Jay, I
dude,
don't believe you. I don't
this
believe
isn't.
you.
I know when no one's listening. To
It's
this
Jay. The
podcast.
only one. This episode's got one listener, and it's this guy. I am your listener.
No,
right
you
now.
know what? I wrote this down. This is too much for one episode. You're right.
Okay, season 2's got 9 episodes.
Okay. So he realized. No, the end of episode 5 is that he realizes he has to resurrect Kel'Thuzad.
Mm-hmm.
So episode 6 is Arthas' attack on the Paladins, and in order to fully resurrect Kel'Thuzad as a Lich, Arthas has to kill Uther in front, and use his soul to bring back Kel'Thuzad. And through Kel'Thuzad, we get even more of a lore dump about Lich King. And then we eventually, episode 6, and I'm realizing this is too much for one episode.
Big ass episodes.
I just have here episode 6. That's we bring back Kel'Thuzad.
Yeah.
And we storm Silvermoon.
Wow, that's a lot. Maybe we storm Silvermoon in the next episode.
Yeah.
The episode ends with Kel'Thuzad being resurrected.
Yeah, I think
so. Oh no.
I think so. You're absolutely correct.
Bum bum bum.
Yeah, the next episode is the storming of Silvermoon.
And
we get to meet everyone's favorite Banshee Queen, Sylvanas Windrender.
Mm-hmm.
And I write that episode from Sylvanas' point of view.
Oh, absolutely.
That is so Sylvanas, she starts as as an elf, arch commander.
Yeah.
And eventually turns into a Banshee. That, I think that's the episode that gets you the Emmy.
Well, I mean, it's
'Cause you
against
write
her
it from
will.
her-
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, she's
Yeah.
she begs for death, and he goes, no.
And it's totally, and I feel like this is totally the moment where we completely lose Arthas.
Oh,
We lose him.
yes.
I mean, he already killed his dad and stuff. He's already done stuff that's unredeemable.
And Uther,
but we're
yeah.
gonna write it in a way that it doesn't seem irredeemable.
Sure.
Last 2 episodes, easy peasy. After this, and this is and this is where it all builds to at the end of season 2. We get these last 2 episodes, penultimate. We see the Alliance finally come together with some Thrall and some Taurens in there.
Oh, okay.
We see the Azeroth Alliance, as
Yes.
it were. But we also see the summoning of Archimonde from the Sunwell.
Who's Archimonde?
Archimonde is one of he's actually Jernai, technically.
Oh, space aliens.
He's a space alien, but he is basically second in command to Sargeras.
Okay.
Who is the leader, the full-on leader of the Legion.
Oh, Sargeras is the
Archimonde
bad guy.
is there to basically we have to destroy the world tree in order to be able to kill this planet. So Archimonde is there.
That's the last mission of all of Warcraft 3 is this protection of the world tree.
Well, not technically, because there's a lot of DLC content, but
all right, thank you guys for tuning into.
So the penultimate episode is summoning Archimonde, the Alliance forming their defenses because they know what's going to
So
happen.
the bad guys summon Archimonde, and the good
Yes.
guys rally to like defend the
Yeah.
Sunwell or the Sun Tree.
And in the last episode is the war for the world tree, and we see all of the little spirits, all of the little night elf spirits eventually destroy Archimonde. So the night elves have lost their immortality.
Oh, right. I remember that cinematic. That
But
was
like, dude, it's awesome. It's so awesome. I don't need Warcraft 1 when you have stuff like this in Warcraft 3 laying around. Don't make me wait 3 movies for this nonsense. And
Even
also,
that.
that's not even going to be, it's not even gonna be the third movie. It's going to be the third, fourth, and fifth because there's so much going on. Make it a friggin' show. 2 seasons. I am aware that this has not been interesting to anyone but me. But this is how you make Warcraft into Game of Thrones, and then people will get into that World of Warcraft and be like, and then they're gonna get in there and be like, "Oh, where's my buddy Thrall?" And like, "Well, you ever heard of the Dragon Soul?" And they'll be like, "What?" And like, "Oh, what happened to Illidan?" "Oh man, dude, you are not even gonna believe this.
You
Ray.
are not prepared for this
Not
story.
prepared." Like, "Oh man, what's Tehran doing?" "Oh man, well they burned the other world tree. Sylvanas did it." "Wait, Sylvanas did it?" "Yeah, and Tehran is real mad, and she's killing a lot of people about it." It's dude, it's so Warcraft is so cool, and I love it so much. And it's like I can't, and part of the reason I love it so much is why I can't play World of Warcraft, because I love it too much, and I have to be a normal and productive human being.
Yes.
But I cannot do it if I'm playing World of Warcraft at the same time.
You can't. You have a wife.
I know.
And-
Now, when I retire, am I going to get back into WoW?
Yes. Will it still be around?
Did I just like really launch a lot of dopamine into my system just even thinking that? Yes.
Oh man.
Hoorah, baby.
If and when we retire,
I
I'm
love
gonna have to start
Warcraft.
playing WoW. All right.
Like Malfurion and Illidan's relationship is so fascinating. Like Thrall, dude, when Thrall and Grom killed Manaroth and they saved Grom from his, and they're like, you just because we're orcs doesn't mean we have to be bloodthirsty monsters. Like, I cried. Mm-hmm. Like, when they bombed Theramore, like, I really got sad.
yeah, Grom eventually goes bad again later on, right?
Different Grom.
Different Grom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when he tries to kill the pandas, right?
Wait, it's not. No, it's not Grom Hellscream. It's Grom. No, is it the same Grom?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it is the same Grom.
Yeah, he tries to kill all the
He
pandas.
looks different, though.
Oh, okay.
He does try to kill the pandas.
Yeah.
The Siege of Orgrimmar, dude.
Yeah.
It's one of the best raids ever made, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Stuff's awesome. Mm-hmm. I love Warcraft so much.
I know you do. But can I be honest with you, bud?
Was that at all coherent?
Oh no, we cut all of it. This episode only had one fix. I'm just
Are
kidding.
you being serious right now?
No, of course not.
I was like,
you
I
just
knew.
got the most sad.
No, because I'm gonna be honest. It was very. I was like, I don't know if this is any good.
You poured your heart into that one, bud.
really did. I really thought
I
about-
wouldn't do that.
Oh, okay.
Like, bud.
I was like, was it
bud.
really that bad?
No, bud. No, that was a joke. Oh, okay. That was too. Okay, I see. Too close. Okay. I'm
Okay.
sorry. No. What I was gonna say is, remember when we were watching James Gunn's thing about, hey, this is what DC's up to. This is our first chapter 1,
Yeah.
Gods and Monsters.
Yes.
Remember when he got to, hey, we're going to go back to Themyscira. We're just going to kind of make a Game of Thrones version of what's going on with the Amazons.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, wait, what? Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, political
that's
intrigue.
That's a
Yeah.
great. Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
That sounds great. You take Game of Thrones, and like, what's an interesting world do we have a lot of?
I'm just telling you,
different-
if you have the level of CG for these orcs and stuff, and all of these different like races and things, and like you do night elves right, and it's like you spend 20 minutes like, oh, it's Tehran just kind of like riding a panther around, anywhere in like riding a panther around anywhere in night elf territory, just talking about these orcs and what we're gonna do to them. I'm like, yes. I just went from 6 to midnight. Please and thank you. So was that good? Fix?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Okay. I just think
Did you hear me jumping in? Like, because I started to remember
I mean,
parts
some of the
of
things
the
are too
game.
long, but also it's like I think it speaks to it's like we could get 3 seasons out of this.
Yeah, just to get to the world tree.
Just to get to the world tree. And then we go to Outlands, homie. And then we go back to Northrend. Come on. Come on. You skip Pandaria because I don't think anyone would take it seriously.
No, I mean,
You skip Cataclysm because Deathwing, in my opinion, didn't have the scope that I thought that they thought that it would. Mm-hmm. But if you go right into Battle for Azeroth and all that Sylvanas stuff, did it work in the game? No. It wasn't a very good expansion. But did it work? Was the storyline baller as hell? Yes. Yes, it was. Oh, and all the jailer stuff with Sylvanas, I can get into that too. Sure.
well, as if we learned anything from Last of Us, a second shot at a video game story in TV format and taken seriously.
Yeah.
And being, feeling free enough to like manipulate some story points, whatever, to make good TV. And there is enough in WoW to make excellent television.
Yeah.
But yeah, just don't be precious with it and take story points where you need them and like really craft some goddamn drama. And, and a lot of really cool battles.
If I were being honest, I would change how they save the world tree and I would have Thrall do it. But that's just green. That's just Green Jesus. That's what Green Jesus do. You know?
Sure, yeah.
Thrall's so cool, man. Mm-hmm. I like it when he does stuff.
Yeah. Let Thrall be Thrall.
Let Thrall be Thrall, man. I kind of wanted to do a fugue state there. I don't even remember what I said.
Well, everybody.
Well,
I think we fixed it.
we did it.
This was quite
No
an
one
episode.
listened to this episode. Everyone's already tuned out.
Possibly. Or they
Possibly.
could tell that you were just truly in love with the story you were
I
telling.
love it so much. I want to play Warcraft 3 again, like right now. And I'm not going to play Reforged because that stuff's trash.
Really?
They didn't do a good job.
Oh, I heard that. That's what I heard.
Yeah, they really didn't do a good job. But if you haven't played Warcraft 3, I highly recommend playing Warcraft 3. And you're going to say to yourself, you're not really into RTSs. I understand that, but just play it anyways. It's really awesome.
Very good, yeah.
It's really awesome.
Take us home, Jay.
Well, thank you guys for listening to my absolutely insane rant. Thank you guys so much for being. Thanks for liking our show. We love making this show. This show lights up the right parts of our brain.
This week it lit up all of Jay's brain.
Yeah. I've been
in a couple weeks you'll see my brain light up with Rangers.
This one took me a while.
So, yeah.
But then I realized on my walk over, I was like, dude, when Arthas kills the king, I was like, these first 4 episodes or 8 episodes, I was like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
How dare you?
How dare you?
I gotta rewrite everything.
Go, Carol, come on. It's just yarn. If you're listening to this wherever you find your podcast, if you wouldn't mind just leaving us a quick review. Honestly, after this one, maybe not. Maybe you absolutely hate my guts after that. I don't know. But honestly, the reviews are great, and they really mean a lot to me, and I like reading them, and it helps the show. But also, if you're watching this on YouTube, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, do that YouTube that you do so well. And also, there's a links to the staggering amount of stuff that we're doing here. A farm-friendly reminder, we are going to be streaming Resident Evil 4 this week.
Yes, we are.
If you want to swing by Previewed Gaming. If there's any call to action, I think that's the one, because I think we're going to have a lot of fun doing that.
Yes, Jay.
Those are
we always have fun playing
our Resident Evil streams are maybe some of the best content we make, full stop. They're really fun. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for listening / watching / listening. And as we end every episode, heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
It's the slow waking Illidan that you are not prepared for. Did I do good? Is that right? About right? That was close enough?
Great job, buddy.
Thanks.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.